Yeah, we're both very busy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that you were like studying too.
I do, yeah. I'm in school.
Oh my gosh, for what?
Psychology.
That's crazy. What do you want to do with it?
Read minds.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Because I feel like as we get older, we like at first, like I had no idea about personal development.
Yeah.
And I was like, when my friends would major in psychology, I did think to myself like, oh, why? But now as I like get older, I'm like, oh my God, I love like personal help books. I love like personal help podcasts, and they just help me so much more. And it's like, I want to like, I'm so interested in that stuff now.
Understanding like the depth of, you know,
how
like
the mind works.
Yeah.
Behaviors, like the way that you think shows your behavior, which is how you act. Like it's crazy. And like the world is like, you could really think it like anyway. Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school, UMass Lowell.
Where's that?
It's in Massachusetts. So I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
So I did 1 year at University of Hartford in Connecticut. Then I commuted to school for 3 years. For money reasons,
then you were like, fuck this, I'm hot, I'm moving to LA.
So then I got my bachelor's degree, and my mom really wanted me, I got into a doctorate's program actually for physical therapy.
Oh, shit.
And it's like a 3-year program, you get your doctorate, so it's like really, really good. 3-4 years, depending on accelerated or not. And I did in and outpatient interning, and I literally hated it. I saw like one person, they had me do laundry, like as a PTA, I did laundry. I couldn't really talk to the patients because everything is like under confidentiality.
Yeah.
And I'm such a friendly person. I feel like I ask so many like open questions that everyone's like, you're not supposed to do that. But anyways, so
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I moved to LA 4 years ago because I had a following at the time. I had like 140,000 followers. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this doctorate program. Like, I'm going to go to California and be in the warmth, and I'll go to school there. So that's what I told my parents. Then when I went there, I got caught up in the light.
Psych.
Yeah, I know. And then I just started modeling because it's just like what I love to do. And I actually started off dancing. So I have a background in dancing. That's how I got into modeling.
Nice. So how long have you been in LA for?
4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of new still.
Yeah, sort of new. But I feel like I've been here for a long time. Like, I love LA.
Yeah.
I love the weather.
Yeah.
It's so nice and warm.
Do you think you'll ever be over it?
I definitely don't want to live in LA. I don't want to settle down in LA.
Yeah.
Maybe like in like maybe the Valley or OC. But I feel like LA is too much for like where I want my family.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. And like, I definitely had the same thoughts whenever I was like thinking about like, am I going to raise a family here? But people forget like LA is so humongous and like there are so many different neighborhoods and each neighborhood has its own vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
that's so right.
there's like the
neighborhood that we're in,
Hollywood, West Hollywood, like Sunset, like always lit, always like partying, the models, like the young crowd.
Yeah.
But there's also Pasadena.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's
and
also
Pasadena is so
Calabasas.
nice. Yeah.
You know, there's also like the valley, like deep in the valley.
Yeah, I would love to settle down in Pasadena, but I love OC too.
Yeah,
OC is really pretty.
OC is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see myself going there too, or Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah,
Santa Barbara is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for a while I was thinking of going to New York because I like wanted to go to school there, and I like love the fast life. You know, like
wait, where did you go to school?
I moved to LA to go to USC. But, like my mom made me like kind of choose LA over New York. Just because, like, my family's in NorCal. And so she was like, if you go to New York, like, we're all going to be so, like, you know, divided.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was thinking, okay, it's kind of cold there, too. So, like, fuck it.
Yeah,
so
that's why I'm like, I love LA because I don't have to shovel snow.
Yeah.
Because I have a driveway in my house back in
Yeah.
Massachusetts. So we have to literally shovel. It's like 12 feet. Oh, my God. Not 12 feet. That's a lot.
Do
like
you
6,
do it
7
yourself
feet.
or do you, like, wink to the cute neighbor guy? And, like,
No,
he just,
so
like,
we
does
don't
it?
have a cute neighbor guy to do anything. It's just because we have, like, I have 3 siblings, so there's 4 kids in the family. So we just kind of do all, like, the chores in the house, and I shovel for my parents.
Aw.
Shovel, and we also have, like, a snowblower, so it makes things easier.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you have no idea, right?
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's like if you want to show up to work at 7, you really have to leave your house at like 5.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like start the car. We have car starters
Jesus.
on the East Coast. So I literally just start my car like while I'm in the house. And so the car can warm up and like melt the ice off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you feel like people are nicer out here? Because I have a theory where I feel like wherever weather is like warmer, people are generally nicer.
You know what? I do get that a lot. I do see why people say that. Okay, so I see why people say that people on the West Coast are friendlier. You're right. I feel like the warm weather does have a part. But I feel like Boston's just like kind of like bitchy. It's not like it could, the weather
rude.
could play a part. Yeah, I feel like we're much more aggressive. Like we get straight to the point, and also I feel like everything there is like work. Like it's literally like 9 to 5. Like I feel like a creative couldn't really live there because you can't really grow in that environment. Like MIT is there, Harvard is there.
Right.
Like Boston is such like a college town. There's so many colleges.
Yeah.
Like it's very like prestigious, well off. Most of my friends are from there. Yeah. So most of them are married. Most of them have kids already. And I'm at that age where I'm like, whoa, I'm like one of the few, it seems like, that's not married, that doesn't have children yet. But I'm like not ready at all.
I'm at that age while you literally look like 18 and
I'm not 18, no. I am not 18, trust me. I'm pretty old. Well, I'm not old, I'm like
older.
You're
wise.
I'm more wise, yeah. I'm wiser than before. But also in LA, I've been through like a lot of instances. When I first moved to LA, oh my gosh, hold on. This is a story.
She needs to take a sip.
When I first moved to LA, I found an apartment with another girl. So I was sharing a room. So there was like 3 people living in a 2-bedroom and I'd share a room with her. And I was like so naive back then because in Boston, I'm not actually from Boston. I'm from Andover, kind of like a rich, preppy town that's like really into sports. Like we were kind of like D1 in sports, like very like sports oriented. So anyways.
Were you ever in any teams?
Yeah, so I did cheerleading and I was also on the dance team and I was dance team captain too.
Okay. So you have a background in dance.
Yeah, so I have a background in dance. And so after I moved to LA, it was just so like, have never seen like as many like Asians as I'm Asian, but literally I've never seen like so many Asians. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. There's like culture, there's like everybody, there's so much diversity here. I love it for the diversity. In where I'm from, it's like all like Americans. Yeah. Mostly like Americans. It's very rare you can count like Asians, like like 5 Asians.
So you would stand out.
Yes, I would stand out, of course.
Would you stand out in a good way or like in a bad way? Would people be like, damn, she's so exotic. Like I want to go talk to her.
Yeah, so.
Or would people be like, damn, she looks like a foreigner. Like what, you know?
So like I felt like I got both. So growing up, actually when I was in school, I do remember I was in seventh grade and my class was like fairly small. We had like 20 kids in the class, but we were learning about like Asian culture. And I remember like a kid literally stood up on his like chair and like did like the Asian eyes. And I was the only Asian in class. And like, yeah, it's like funny, but at the same time, since I was the only Asian in class, I felt so targeted. I was so upset. Like, I was like, you know,
gotten up and pulled your eyes open and be like, look, I can do you too.
Yeah, but I wasn't like a class clown. Back in the day, I was more like quiet and shy. Yeah. And so literally I'm like, you know what? Like I was like so ashamed of my culture back in the day, which is why I love LA. Like when I came to LA, it kind of like went 180 for me. I was like, I love all this culture. Like give me everything. Like I want to learn. Back in the day, I was like, I don't, like my mom forced me to take Chinese because I have a background in dancing. She like also forced me to do like Chinese dancing. And then she also made me do like Chinese lessons.
And I'm sorry, what I don't know the proper way to ask this question, but what kind of Asian are you?
Oh, like what ethnicity are you? Yeah. Okay. So it'd be like, what's your ethnicity? I'm Taiwanese.
Okay.
So Taiwan is a small country off of China.
Okay. Do you guys speak Chinese?
So we speak
Taiwanese.
We speak Chinese. We speak Mandarin. So Chinese has a lot of different dialects. So there's Mandarin, Taiwanese, like Shanghainese, Cantonese. There's like a lot of them. Yeah, inside. Mandarin is one of the main languages. So that's what people say as Chinese. So I speak Mandarin, but my mom can speak like Cantonese, Taiwanese, and Mandarin. Okay. But my dad only knows Mandarin. That's why we learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to your story.
So anyways, like all the kids, we took Mandarin classes. And then, wait, what was I talking about?
The guy who stood up and like did the eye thing.
Oh yeah, so I like rebelled. I hated taking Chinese class. I would skip Chinese class. I literally hated Chinese dance. I would take it as a joke. Like I literally just hated being Asian because all my friends were white and they would like literally one time I also remember my friend being like, yeah, my mom taught me how to shave and I don't have any body hair. So I'm literally like, wait, what do you mean shave? So then I like went home, like found a razor and like shaved like my legs. My mom got so mad at me, like my skin, because I didn't have hair. But I was so confused, like why does everyone else have like
Naturally
hair on their
laser.
arms and I like don't have like any hair or whatever?
That's amazing. You're naturally
Yeah,
laser.
so now I like it, but back in the day I wanted to be like everybody else because I was that one odd person out. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you like wanted body
So I
hair.
wanted, yeah. So it's like I wanted the things, but I didn't know that that's like I didn't know that. Oh, it's
Yeah.
better not to have body hair.
Yeah.
Like I was young, I was like innocent.
Now as an adult, you're like,
Now as an adult, I'm like,
joke's
oh my,
on you.
yeah. Now I'm like, I'm so happy. I love being Asian.
And that guy that was making fun of you is probably in your DMs, isn't he?
I mean, yeah, probably. Honestly, I get too many. I don't even know.
Hey.
Right, but at the same time, like that really was like a culture shock for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like really me growing up wanting to be somebody until I was like 23. Then coming here, I'm like, whoa. I like definitely want my culture back. I love like I want to like use chopsticks again. I want to like, and that's why I love LA because I feel so I'm at the most like confident and comfortable place like right now in my life, and I've never like felt happier. Back in the day, like I was so happy and like I had a lot of friends, but I felt like I wasn't like that happy. Like I always like had a little like sliver of thinking, oh, I don't fit in, or like, oh, like there's like something like wrong with me. Like, how can I change myself to like be more like them? When it was just like, no, I just needed to change my environment so I could grow bigger and better instead of being contained in like a little box.
Yeah, and I feel like when you're younger, anything that makes you different makes you feel like, oh, I'm different. That's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
And then you grow up, you become an adult, and you look
You
at your
realize
differences as uniqueness, right?
Yeah,
you're like,
of
oh, I'm
course.
different in this, and this way. That's my power.
Yeah.
But it takes time to like find that in you.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
completely agree. 100%. Did you felt like that at all, like when you came back?
So when I moved to the States, I kind of had
Because you were
sort of
also kind of young, and I know, right?
I mean, not really. I was 18 when I moved. Like,
Oh,
I was a full-on adult.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, grown up. At least I thought I was.
Mhm.
You know, but when I moved, I kind of had a similar story in a way that I moved when I was 18, and right off the bat, I joined the swim team, and like my swim team was also like the same as the water polo team, and it's like the whitest
sport
out there.
Oh my
And
god.
like I was the only foreign kid.
Oh my god, I'm laughing.
But like maybe I don't know, like thankfully I like for me it was like, oh my god, like she's like, I would tell people like where I'm from, and like I don't know if I would make it sound cool or they thought it was cool, but I just remember like people would ask me questions, especially because like I feel like where I'm from is so wild. Like people always have like all these like misconceptions, so every time I tell people where I'm from, everybody like is just like has questions and like they want to know more.
Yeah.
I think I've like encountered one person who had like just like a tiny hint of racist to them, and even that, like we laughed it off and like we moved on, you know.
But still that like
like it kind of stuck in my head for a little bit. I was like, oh, like that comment was a little, you know, like whatever, but then, you know, we laughed about it, and later I just like, you know, made sure I let them know that that hurt a little, stung a little, and you know, they apologized. They you know, told me like what their intentions really were, and I was like, okay, obviously you're not like racist at heart. It's just like, you know, sometimes your community and like the people you're around, you're used to making certain jokes and everybody laughs, so you don't really think that like, oh, this is actually like maybe not that funny, or maybe like if I say it to a certain type of person,
you know what, I feel like I really admire you for going up to him and telling him like how you thought, because a lot of the times that like if someone makes a comment about me being Asian or like any Asian like racist comment, I feel like either I just ignore them, and then I like when I think about it, I don't even go back to them and tell them anything because I feel like I don't want to like cause drama. But I admire you for like going up to him and telling him.
It's just knowing that people don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
It's just knowing that people say stupid shit all the time. I mean, I say stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
So how can I be mad at someone else when they say stupid shit?
Yeah.
When we're at a dinner table, there's tequila involved.
Oh,
and, you
yeah.
know, there are people
with that
around.
instance, yeah.
You want to say something funny. You just want to say, like, you're not trying to hurt someone.
Yeah,
you're not trying to, like, you know, like intentionally put somebody down.
Of course,
you know? It's just like sometimes like something just like slip out, and then, you know, later the best thing you can do is just let them know like, hey, maybe just don't do that again.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but anyways, back to the topic. We keep like having like outliers, like, but so dating is like very different. People in LA, I feel like there's more people in LA that are older that are not married or are single. And I feel like it's the lifestyle out here. Oh, yeah. Like there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of people, there's like so much fun. But I did date a very, very like abusive guy when I first came to LA.
Dan Bilzerian.
No, not him. Actually, I was part of Ignite, but I never dated him. I never did anything with him like at all, which is why I don't have 1 million followers.
But you're almost there.
No, I was implying that like if you sleep with him. Yeah. But anyways.
So tell me, how is it different? How has it been different for you?
I can't say this for everybody in LA because I haven't met everybody, but in my opinion, the first guy I met, he was a millionaire. I had no idea about money. Like, I don't care. Back then, like, I didn't care about designer. I, like, shopped at thrift stores. Like, I was very low maintenance. He brought me out to, like, nice dinners. I met him at a party, and he was so nice. He literally paid me $500 to meet up with him. So so he Venmo'd me $500.
Just to hang out with him.
So he asked for my Venmo, and I was like, oh yeah, send me money. Like, funny, like hot girl summer, send me money. Like, and he ended up sending me $500. And I'm like,
just to hang out with them, or did you have to like?
No, so he basically wrote in the comments like, can we meet up? I have a proposal for you.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, you have a proposal. This is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago, it was so much money to me. And I'm like, that's like my rent. I'm sharing a bedroom. Yeah. That's my rent. Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to meet up with him. I went back to sleep. I woke up like 6 hours later, and he made another comment and was like, please, like, can we meet anywhere? Like, I really, really want to like have like a proposition.
Yeah, somewhere in public.
So then I'm
with
like,
lots of people around.
Yeah. So I was like in my head, like, okay, you know what? Fine. Like, I feel bad because he did send me a lot of money. So I'm like, you can meet me at Ralph's. So I went shopping.
At supermarket?
So, because I used to shop at Ralph's. Ralph's was next to my apartment complex.
You're like, while we're at it, you can
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So he did buy my groceries, which I was like, word. And I put like so much stuff in the cart. Like, usually I just buy like whatever's good for me. But I was like, nah, I have 3 roommates. Like, I'm going to, because he was like,
took him to Air One.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know that he was going to buy it for me. I didn't know until I got there, and he was like telling me the proposal. So in my head, I was like, oh.
What was the proposal?
So basically he was like, okay, like, hear me out. And I was like looking, I had no makeup on. I had like a hoodie, a big ass hoodie, because it was like kind of winter time.
Yeah.
I was wearing like sweatpants. Like I was like very like don't approach me. And he's like, okay, you're a model, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Underneath all of this sweater, yes.
And then he's like, yes, underneath, I have a body. I promise I'm not a box. But anyways, I didn't care about him. That's why I went dressing like that. And I was like, who's this weird guy? Like, I don't want him to like me. Like, he's weird. He sent me money. But maybe I could get more. But anyways, he's like, the proposition is like, you're a model, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm a really rich guy. I have my own business. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like this young-minded person. He's like, I love to travel. Like, I'm part of this website where we can take girls traveling and we pay them. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not interested in doing this. Like, because I have a good head on my shoulders for the most part, because I'm from Boston. Like, I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have my bachelor's, like, I have a brain.
Yeah. You know what's up.
So I know what's up. I'm like, no. And then he was like, no, like, I'm not going to pay you anything. We don't have to date, but I just want to travel, but I need a companion. And I'm like, wait, this is weird. So I was like, no, like, absolutely not. And then, so we, like, exchanged, like, I had his Facebook, and, like, I forget how we got it, but, like, we exchanged Facebooks. And then I found out that we had, like, 50 mutual friends.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what?
Like,
and so basically, found out he's from Boston.
Oh shit.
I'm from Boston. I worked at a really big nightclub in Boston. He was the head promoter of a promotion company for nightclubs in Boston.
Wait, so this
so I heard
promoter?
So his business is energy trading.
Energy trading.
Yeah, so you can make a lot of money. You can make either $1 million in a day, or you can lose $1 million in a day.
What's energy trading?
Energy trading is basically like, it's kind of like stocks, but it's not. You trade energy. So let's say, like, I don't really know it 100%, even though I dated him for a year, but basically, like, you guess like a section. So like you're like, your company works for like a section on the map, and they call it that certain section. So anyways, like, he took me out to dinner. He kind of wooed me. I kind of fell for it. He flew me to Seattle first class. That was like my second time in first class ever in my life. And I'm like, what is this? He picked me up in a McLaren. Do you know what a McLaren is?
Yes, I do.
So back then I didn't know what it was. And I was like, this car is so low to the ground. Why did he pick me up in this? Why didn't he bring like another car? Like, I was like so disappointed. Like, is this guy okay? Like, I was like, why is this car? I'm literally sitting on the floor and I hate it.
Bring the fucking van, bro.
Yeah, that's like, I was like so confused. Like, why is he doing this? But I didn't know that it was
his
like,
mind, he was impressing you.
yeah, I had no idea that it was like a $200,000, like $300,000 car. So, but back then I also didn't care. I was like, whatever. And then I went to his house. He bought me the new iPhone, like a bunch of gifts. He got me like a bunch of gifts and like this, whatever, on the counter. He had a beautiful house, like a beautiful, like big house that overlooked like on top of a hill. And every single night, since he lives in Seattle, so I met him in LA. He flew me to Seattle. And I didn't want to travel with him outside the country. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to like fly to Seattle and just see like what's up.
Yeah.
Went there. I was like kind of impressed, honestly, just from the first class. Like, who cares about the McLaren?
Yeah.
And the present, I was like, oh my God, new iPhone. Yes, I can take better pictures. So his house was gorgeous, super clean. The sunsets were incredible. Every single night, the sky was like pink, like orange, like it covered the entire sky. Like, I'm telling you, like,
you were
Seattle
really
really,
wowed.
yeah, Seattle really,
wowed.
really does have beautiful like nature.
Okay.
Anyways, I was living there. So I stayed there, and we went traveling. We went to Tokyo, Singapore, Hawaii.
Okay.
He's like, I went to Seattle, and like 2 days later, he's like, do you wanna like go to Hawaii? I'm like, okay, I don't have any clothes though. He's like, it's okay, like we'll go shopping. So he went shopping for Hawaii. He went to Hawaii.
We're not gonna go to Ross.
Then straight from Hawaii, you want to go to Tokyo? Oh, but I don't have any clothes. Don't worry, like he never brought me to Ross. He bought me like all designer clothes.
No thrift shopping, no more.
No, he did not want me to go to any thrift stores. Like, I remember one time I had a white Forever 21 bag, and I don't spend like money on clothing back then. Like, the most I would spend on an item, like, I'm not even kidding, is like $10.
Yeah.
Like, I bought this bag for $30, and that is so unlike me. Like, all my friends back then would be like, what? So this bag was like meant a lot to me because it's not what I would spend normally. And he threw it away because he's like, my friends are bougie. They can't see you holding this bag. I'll take you shopping tomorrow. And then he brought me to a designer store, and I thought all the bags were so ugly. And he bought me like a bunch of stuff and picked out everything for me. And I was like, cool. Like,
You're
whatever.
like, what is this disgusting Chanel?
Yeah. No, but it was like back in the day, I like really didn't think that designer was cute. Like, I had my own little like
back in
hippie
the day,
style.
you mean 4 years ago?
Yeah, literally 4 years ago. So, but I say back in the day because I feel like I'm a brand new person now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely wiser. I'm more mature. I've definitely like lived the life. Like, I was a small town girl before. Like, imagine being like growing up in a small town.
Yeah.
And Boston's not really like a city. I was like in a suburb.
Yeah. So this guy was like your intro to this like new life.
Yeah.
Like, he showed you all these possibilities. Obviously, this is a dude that knows how to like wow a girl, right? And you being a small town girl, you were easily wowed by this guy.
Yeah. Turns out
He's a serial killer.
he's a what's it called? What's that book by The Game by Neil Strauss? Have you heard of that book? Okay, so he's a pickup artist. It's actually a really great read. You should read it.
Is it a novel?
It's a novel. So it's not it's like it basically teaches nerdy guys how to get with women. So there's a bunch of rules. So I learned about this later on in a relationship. So we dated for 9 months. But
Was he going off that book?
So basically, he told me, hey, like, I had to sleep with you by the third date. Like, there's rules to this shit. Yeah, I'm so surprised. He said, okay, like, by the third date, you had to sleep with a girl. when you approach a girl, like for example, it's very like big into manipulating the mind. That's why like when you said you were graduating with psychology, it interests me. Like back then it didn't, now it does, because it's like the mind really is everything. Your mind is really what determines your behavior and your actions, which is how you portray yourself as a person. Right. So he was saying that as manipulation, let's say you're out with your friend that's like not that cute at a club, and a guy approaches you and he automatically talks to the other girl.
Talks
You've
to the
heard
ugly
this.
girl to make the pretty girl insecure.
To make not even insecure, just to pretty girl be like, why is he talking to her?
Yeah. Like want the attention.
So that's manipulation.
Yeah.
And that's
one like manipulation 101.
Yeah, but that's also a form of what they wrote in the book.
Yeah.
So they go into depth about it. So there's also a case where this really big pickup artist was going to Australia, and a lot of women in Australia, this is like I think 3 years ago, signed a petition to make that guy not do a seminar in Australia because that guy was like a really bad pickup artist. So some pickup artists, it's like you can take the book like a good way, like a positive way, or a negative way. And a negative way would be like if a guy took advantage of the girl, taking like all the hints and the clues to take advantage of her. And then the other one would be like, the positive way would be like using it to get a girlfriend to do it long term. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, that guy ended up getting banned from Australia. So that's how like some pickup artists are really, really bad. Like, so anyways, he was a pickup artist. That's how he got me. The reason like I completely forgot to say this very important part.
No genuine guy ever comes forth and be like, yes, $500 go out with me.
Yeah, so it wasn't $500 that made me fly there, actually. It was
but like
$50,000.
Oh, okay, shit. So, but like initially though, right?
Initially it was just $500.
Right.
So
like no genuine guy who like just is a normal guy and wants to just talk to a girl will ever be like, hey, I'm gonna give you $500. You know, so it's like also knowing that these guys tap into a certain type of niche, a certain type of girl, you know. Mm-hmm. They know that these girls are like really young. They probably moved to LA very recently, so they're very like easily what's the word? Impressionable. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like easy to wow them. Let's say like a girl who's like older, like let's say you right now. That shit would probably not work on you right now, right? But let's say you're like younger and you're like fresh out of your town and you come to LA and you're like, oh, I like $500 is my rent. Like let me go like see what more is there to be found. Yeah. So it's also like smart for these guys to know what kind of girl to approach.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what, guys with a lot of money, I've noticed, like I feel like they have their power, and their power is money. And all these girls, because a lot of people here are here for like being in the entertainment industry, so they really don't understand like, oh, like they have to work 2 jobs, like waitress, and pursue her dreams or pursue someone's dreams. So like when someone comes with a lot of money, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? I have to see what else there is. Like I could, instead of me waitressing, I could whatever. But I forgot the most important part. Oh my God. So literally I was at a spa, like after we met at Ralph's. The reason why I flew to Seattle is because he started sending me like, so he sent me like $20 on Zelle and was like, did you get it? And I'm like, yeah, and Zelle is through my number. So I got it. I was like, yeah, I got it. And then he started sending me like $2,500 like every day until I reached like a lot of fucking money. Yeah.
For how many days did he send you $2,500?
I don't even remember, but I know a total I got $50,000.
So that's when he asked you to go to Seattle.
So then after he sent me that, so this is when I didn't even know him. Yeah. And I told my friend, I'm going to leave and not take this. I'm going to keep the money and like run away. Because like, fuck I was like, what the hell? I don't care. I don't want to like sleep with him, nothing. Like, but I get all this money for free. Like, this is the most money I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. Like literally in my entire life. So I'm like, wow. Like I used to shop at thrift stores and now you're talking about like 50 grand.
So what made you want to go from I'm going to take his money and not show up to I'm going to show up?
So my friend goes, well, Anthia, like if he's giving you 50,000 now, if you like went to see him in Seattle, how much more would he give you then? And I'm like, okay,
there's a business-minded friend.
I know, me and her aren't like that close anymore. She for other reasons, but I went to Seattle, and that's when I found out that. So I went traveling with him. The first red flag was when we were in Tokyo, and he like went through my phone. We weren't even dating, and like went crazy on me. And after that, like it went kind of like downhill.
So he was controlling.
He was very controlling. So let's say I would get a job and let's say it was for $500. I first moved to LA to pursue my dreams. So even though money was very important to me, it wasn't about the money. It was about the job.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to build my resume up to the point where I was doing anything that I could. I wanted to take every single job because I wasn't where I want to be. Yeah. And I felt like in order for me to be where I want to be, like I had to do everything. Yeah. He would like offer me like 3 times as much not to go. Obviously I would take it. Yeah. Like, oh, $1,500 not to go to a $500 gig. Okay. Like I won't fly back to LA this weekend. Yeah. I got so lonely, so bored. I was drinking a lot because he like forced me to make friends. Like I was like cleaning this house. Like one time I did his laundry. Whoa. I turned all his white clothes pink because like he just expected me. He had very old school like views.
He wanted the Cinderella.
He wanted like a normal, like he wanted like a old school like woman to cook and clean for him, and I'm sorry, that's not me.
But like, you were playing the part though.
So I didn't even like. I was so bad at cooking. Like his mom was like, "You need to cook for him." I was postmating. I was postmating everything. Yeah. Like, his mom's like, "No, you need to like. He shouldn't take care of you. You should take care of him."
So you met his mom.
I met his mom.
So was he serious with you, or?
He said he was, and with knowing him, he's very like true to his word. So he said he was, but he was very toxic. Then I found out he was also going through a divorce, and he actually met me a month after through like a really bad breakup. But
did he like tell you he was married?
He did after like we were sleeping together. Yeah. So obviously then I had feelings for him. Yeah. Like I didn't date a lot of people in Boston, so like with him I like kind of fell in love with him, and it was so bad. It basically ended because he was very abusive mentally and very abusive like emotionally and also physically. Oh shit. So like all the abusive, like all
was he older?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. At that time I was like 23, 24, maybe 24. And he also told me like I was getting too old for him.
How old was he when you were 23,
like
24?
33.
Oh, okay. Not that
much. Yeah, not that much older. But
he sounds like he would be in his 50s.
Oh, yeah, no. But in a lot of, like, certain values, like, when you grow up in that culture, you, like, take on those values. So I, like, kind of understand. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, like, everything, like, we're civil now. Back then, like, when we ended, we were not. Like, it ended because he, like, hit me so hard. And, like, when I had to go to the emergency room because he perforated my eardrum. Yeah, he was, like, wow. Yeah, it was bad. Like, he controlled my life. He was a tech person, so he had he had access to all my text messages. When a text would come in, it would go on his phone. Like, he could mirror my phone. And then he later told me about it. He's very, very smart. So that's why it makes sense for the pickup artist.
Why did you stay with him? And how long did you stay with him for?
So maybe I felt like really, really, like, honestly, I really loved him. Like, it wasn't that I loved him. I was so attached and like dependent on him because he made it. So I was like completely dependent on him. Like his way of manipulation was making so I didn't really have like anyone to go to. Like I had no friends. Like I had all new friends like that were his friends in another state.
And like, also he introduced you to this new lifestyle that now you're used to.
Yeah. And so really he wasn't like there was a bunch of red flags, but the like abusiveness like I didn't know it was like abuse until like I would say like 4 months. Yeah. And then at like 6 months I planned my escape for like 3 months because he was that crazy. Like I couldn't like just move out. I couldn't just move out. I had to like
you
plan
couldn't have a conversation with him and be like
no. Really? No. He had cameras everywhere, so
oh my God.
It was rare. We would always be together, like to Seattle or to LA, but sometimes we had to be apart.
Oh my God.
Because I started, after the relationship started progressing, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go to Seattle. I want to work. I don't care if it's $100 or $200. I want to put that on my resume because I was like building my career back then. And he would put cameras in the what's it called? So he got me a hotel in Hollywood. I'm not a hotel. He got me an apartment in Hollywood. And he would put cameras there. Every single time I would leave, all hell would break loose. Like, he'd be, like, blowing up my phone, like, going crazy. He took my name off the lease so that I could not get the key to come back in. And he told the front desk, like, she's like not allowed, like what, like basically they listened to him because he was paying for the apartment.
But what would have happened if you just packed all your stuff and you left? And in his
So
cameras,
he would have,
you blew him a
he would have
kiss.
found, he would have, so that's what I was doing. So that's what I eventually was doing, but that's what I was planning for my escape for like 3 months.
How long were you with him for?
9 months total.
Okay.
So like at 6 months, like I was like, you know what, I need to plan everything. He bought me a bunch of designer bags, so I try to like take everything. I did leave some stuff. Like he bought me an Hermes bag, and I wanted to sell it for a car because I'm like, oh my god, like a car, like it was like $20,000. Let me buy a car with that. Let me buy like a $10,000 car with that. And he was like, no, he
why wouldn't
actually
he just buy
it.
you a car?
We were actually in the works of him buying me a car. He was going to buy me like an Audi because I wanted an Audi back then. But I chose not to actually get the car because I felt like he would control me too much. Like, you have no idea. He was like really, really intertwined in my life. That like, when we broke up, since he hacked into my phone, my parents are so strict. Like, when I'm telling you, like, they came straight from like Taiwan, moved here when they were in their 20s. Like, they're also Christian. So I went to church like 3 times a week growing up.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, my parents are like, when they found out that I had a tattoo, they cried. When my mom saw me have a piercing, we couldn't get our ears pierced till I was 18 years old. Shit. Yeah, so it's like my parents are so strict. We could not paint our nails, like no makeup, nothing.
So how were you explaining the designer bags to your mom?
So she didn't see because I was living in Seattle, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're talking on the phone, like, she doesn't know, like, what's going on.
But, like, she wouldn't ask you, like, how's your
So
life
I'm not
in
that
LA?
close with my parents either because they're so strict. So I was, like, growing up, I was tiptoeing, like, around them. I'm not, like, best friends with them.
So it's not like you would FaceTime with your mom and your mom would be like, whoa, like, you're in a nice,
it's not like that.
house.
I would, like, I want to be like that for my daughter, but me and my mom definitely were not like that because of the cultural difference. Yeah. But they're just super strict. Like, I mean, I love them to death, but I understand because of their culture.
So you kept your distance.
Yeah, so I kept my distance, yeah. So anyways,
so this guy was super controlling.
He called my dad after we broke up. He called my dad at like, it was like 4 a.m. like their time or whatever, and he told them that I was a prostitute, and he told them that. So he asked me to take care of his dogs. So I took care of his dogs, and then he came the next day. He was waiting outside my house in his car, in his McLaren.
So he called your dad
at like 4 a.m. and told him I was like a prostitute and I was sleeping with people for money because I came back late. Locked me outside. I had to call police to try to get inside to get my stuff. I had like a very important gig. It was like a very important, like my agency booked me something, like my first job. Yeah. Like I was like that, like a very, very big campaign. And I needed my wig. And I asked him, like, I need to go get my wig. Like, that's all I need. Please, please, please. He was like, no. I had to go to the cops. I filed a police report. They came in. The police knocked on his door and he didn't open it because there's a law that says like you don't have to open or something like that. So he didn't open it, and he put all my stuff in a storage unit, and I had to move out on my own, like from the storage unit. But he was so toxic. Like after.
So that's how things ended?
No, he hit me. How things ended was he hit me really hard, and I ended up in the emergency room because he perforated my eardrum.
Oh my God! Why did he hit you?
And I went back to him. Because I was like very attached. I didn't like go back. I like tried to go back and it didn't work. And that's how it ended up, like my stuff in a storage unit. Because the thing is, like, he was so strict that like it was like if I don't listen to you, if I do like one thing wrong, like all hell breaks loose and you have control of my life. You can put all my stuff on the street. He shipped a bunch of my stuff in boxes from Seattle to Boston, not to LA. Yeah.
What an asshole.
What an asshole.
But also you were enabling that behavior.
Yeah, because I was staying with him, right? Yeah. But also I feel like you have to understand, like, it is like in the relationship, it is very hard. Like I know it's like you should not, like, basically, like a lot of people say, you don't respect yourself if you don't. But also, like, I was very, very attached to him. I was like literally in love with this guy. I know 9 months is so short, but like, ever since I went to the first time I went with him to Seattle, I was with him every single day. Yeah. Like he was working at home. I wasn't working at all because he wouldn't let me take any jobs. So it was like, I was like 100% dependent on him. And because I come from a Christian background, my thought is, like and I didn't sleep with like a lot of people. If I sleep with one person, I have to marry him. Like that's kind of my mindset because growing up, we weren't allowed to have sex or anything. So it's like I was literally like hoping that I was like, oh, because I had sex with him, like I have to marry him and we have to make it work because divorce is a sin. Yeah, like that was like my mind back like 4 years ago. I say back in the day because I really changed. Like I don't go to church anymore. Like I don't believe some of these values anymore.
It feels like a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like I'm a very skeptical type of person, right? Like somebody like that, like coming close to me, honestly, like I don't know if it's like where I was like raised or like my family or whatever. Like I would literally laugh at this guy because I would just like see right through him. But it's
funny. I was so naive. I did not at all. I had no idea people could take advantage of you.
Right. But I like have such an understanding of exactly like the formula of how things happened.
Yeah.
And let's say you're this really young, naive, you know, small town girl, comes to LA, gets wooed by this guy who has so much money.
Exactly.
Immediately he makes you like him and fall in love with him.
Paid off all my debts.
Yeah, gives you, incentivizes you being with him, gives you all the things you've never had. So it's just for you, it's like this safety and security and you love the new, you know, dazzling life.
Now I would never, like if a guy ever did that, I would be like, oh no. Like now I have more experience.
Right.
Much more.
Right.
That's why I'm saying like I really learned a lot being in LA. Moving out really saved my life.
And then slowly these guys go from like super loving, super giving to now just like 100% controlling.
Yeah.
And just like you have no independence and they want full control of your life. And at that point you're stuck because A, you're in love with this person. B, you don't have anywhere else to go.
Exactly.
And C, I always like think this. You can always go from coach to first class, but it's really hard to go from first class to coach.
It is.
And the way I mean that is when you're just a normal person with a normal income and like, you know, an example that I'm bringing, you take coach. If somebody offers you first class, you're going to take it and you're going to have the best time. Let's say first class is a lifestyle, not so much of like, you know, a class of like the airplane.
Yeah.
So it's easy to go from coach to first class, but it's really fucking hard
to go
back to coach. So it's like these guys always do this because I see this with my model friends all the time. These like uber rich guys come in and they just like sweep these girls off their feet and they show them this lifestyle that they could honestly never have it on their own.
Exactly.
Probably, you know? And so they get super used to this lifestyle.
Yes.
They get used to like, you know, shopping at designer and like getting their clothes tailored and like having a driver and like just being a princess. Yeah. Getting everything they want. So now this guy that's being super controlling and is super toxic, you want to break up with him? Fine. But you know what that comes with? Going back to your lifestyle. Yeah. Before him. Do you want that? No, you don't.
But that's like when I was trying to break up with him, that's literally not what I was thinking. Because like at that time, I still, like 1 year doesn't change my mind on that. I would say like I got more into designer after I'm dating like my now boyfriend. He got me more into designer. But back then, like I was like, I don't care if I go back to my old life. But I was like scared that, because what happened was he hacked into my bank account. And so I had to like, it was like this whole ordeal.
He was threatening you.
So yeah, he like was able to get into my bank account. I had to show him like how much money I had. I had to like hide money. So I had no money when we broke up, because he basically like, he was just so manipulative. So like, it was so toxic. It was the worst person I ever met. Oh and the thing is, like, you have no idea. If I left, he would chase me down and like hunt me down and make my life hell. He made a Instagram of me. Like he called, like, I don't know if I was done with my story, but he called my dad saying I was a prostitute. Like, my mom was like crying, like, please give him back his dogs. He said you stole them, please. He said that you're having sex for money. Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, I don't want my parents to even have a little bit of thinking that that's happening to me, because I would never. They literally cried when I had a tattoo, you know?
But wouldn't they believe against the Bible. You? Wouldn't they believe you over him?
No, that's not how my parents are. My parents are different. That's how I wish. Like, that's how I will be with my children, but that's not how my parents are with me. They see, like, the facts. They don't, like, stand up for me at all. Like, if the school board were to be like, Anthia did this and it was wrong, and and I didn't do it and it was someone else, just because they told my parents and I told my parents I didn't do it, they would believe them over me. Like, I feel like you're very family-oriented, right? my family is not as oriented before. Now we are much more closer. As I'm older, I'm like super close with my siblings, but like 4 years ago, it was not like that at all. Yeah.
So all these little things went hand in hand for you to end up in the exact situation that you did.
Yeah, but I'm glad that I went through that situation because I learned about it. I lived through it. I'm okay. I'm not dead. Like, I wasn't kidnapped. Like, I experienced it. And now I realize the most important thing, like, really money does not matter. Like, I was so...
Okay, chill. Chill on that statement.
No, but I mean, like, it does matter. Like, you do need a place to live. You do need, like...
Yeah.
But, like, I'm talking about, like, a lot of money. Like, don't sacrifice your well-being to be with somebody
who has money.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I was always drawn to money. And now, like, for myself, I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't really... Like, I want to make my own. Like, I don't want to date somebody for money. And I... Like, that's how I met my now boyfriend, who I'm, like, so happy with. So...
Okay. Does he have money?
He does, like, not that much money, but, like, he's
that
not, like...
That just felt
rich.
like the natural
He's not, like,
next question.
He's not, like, rich, which I know, like, a lot of people offer me so much money, like, in my DMs and whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, we are so compatible, and I feel like compatibility is, like, one of, like, the most important things in a relationship.
It's really the epitome of anything that glitters ain't gold, you know? It's, like, that's, I think, a good example of, like, someone who can, like, you think he can offer you all the things you think you want when you're young.
Yeah.
But it's also good to have, like, experiences like that when you're young, so that when you get older and you're, like, you meet a really nice dude who, like, doesn't have all that money.
Have you ever went through something like that where... But I know, like, growing up, you must have been, like, so smart because your parents are different. Like, it's funny because I can see your facial reactions. And from your facial reactions, you're like, wait, your, like, mom didn't, like, believe you? Like, like, you can tell, like, I can tell from that question, you're very family oriented. Your parents brought you up in a way to be family oriented, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm, like, super close with my mom. Like,
exactly.
My best friend is my mom.
Yeah. Like, see, like, that's how I want to be with my kids because that's not what I had growing up.
Yeah.
Were you an only child?
No, I have an older brother who's also my other best friend.
Are you the only...
We have a matching tattoo.
Are you... Oh, yeah, I'm, like, best friends with my siblings.
See, yeah.
But my parents, not so much because of the cultural difference.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable. Honestly, my family was such a unique Persian family. Like, growing up, all of my, like, friends, their parents wouldn't let them do anything.
Your mom let you do whatever?
My mom, like, it was really, really strange in a way how it worked. Like, I'm such a rebel.
Mm-hmm. Me too, yes.
And in a way, as, like, my mom is, like, the reason I'm so obsessed with this woman is because how insanely smart she is. She really realized how big of a rebel I am. So she never told me not to do anything.
And you know what? That's the best thing in a child because I'm also a rebel. I'm the black sheep of my family. And everything, she told me not to do anything. Yeah. I couldn't do anything, like, and so I always rebelled and tried to do those things. That's why I got that tattoo out of rebellion. I got my ears pierced out of rebellion. I got grounded for like a year, but
and I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really like blame your parents because they
didn't know.
They're only doing their best.
Exactly. So I don't blame them like at all. I just know that there's a cultural difference, and I know that when I get older and I have kids, I'm gonna be best friends. But that's so funny that you said that.
Yeah.
That your mom really let you do like anything.
Yeah, like I remember.
So could you drink? Like, was your mom okay with that?
So, but here's the thing though. My family was so open and so free that me and my brother didn't really want to do all the things that our friends wanted to do so bad because they weren't allowed to.
So they're more chill and relaxed.
Like me, like I was just like.
Oh, I love that. I really like that.
Like I was just always like super studious.
So you had a really good childhood.
I did. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I did have, like, this little phase when I was, like, 15, 16, when I had, like, just started talking to boys and I, like, wanted to go out.
Yeah.
But I had a curfew, you know? Like, I just had to, like, be home by, like...
They did it in, like, the right way.
Yeah.
To steer you in
the
the right
direction.
direction.
My mom was just always, like, do whatever you want, hang out with whatever you want, you know, go wherever you want. However, tell me everything you do. And, you know, like, give me your friends' phone numbers, and you have to be home at this time. And when you're out, just, like, you know, text me every now and then.
You know what's really funny? I literally have been telling people, like, everyone, like, when I grow up, like, I don't want to be like my parents. Like, me and my siblings, we always aspire not to be like my parents, which is why we're all over the place. Like she moved to San Francisco as soon as she finished college.
Yeah.
Like I went all the way to LA. Like my brother's in Houston. Like we just like went far away because our childhood was like not the best.
Yeah.
But always wanted to know, like, how do so many people have like amazing childhoods? Like what do they do with their children to make them that way? Because it's really the way that you bring up your kids.
Yeah.
It really affects your now. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's not their fault or whatever. It's up to you now to do whatever. It's up to you now to be aware.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered, like, and it's really to be chill, huh?
And okay, I'm going to get real philosophical real quick.
Okay.
I think that not all parents should be exactly the same way. Because, like, if you,
Oh, yeah, of course
if
not.
you give, like, a winning formula,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you do this, this, and this, your kids will turn out this, this, and that. That's never true, right? Because, like, the chemistry of your personality as parents with
Yeah.
the chemistry of the child's personality and the environment, all of that you put together, and, like, this whole new thing comes out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe if my parents, who I think were honestly, like, I can't think of better fucking people to raise me.
Yeah,
to be honest.
exactly.
If they had a different child, like, it could have been a completely different, like, it could have been a shit show. And honestly, I also feel like sometimes for your growth, you need your parents to fuck up.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's what you need to learn in life.
Yeah, and honestly,
maybe that's your journey. Maybe your journey is for your parents to have disappointed you for a little bit. Maybe your journey would mean more to you.
But also, I feel like they may not know exactly what they're doing either.
They never do.
Because if I were to have kids right now, I'd be like, what the heck do I do?
They
with
never
this?
do.
Yeah.
Do you remember a moment when you looked at your parents and you realized that they're just growing with you? And they're not the grown-up heroes that you once used to think they are?
Yeah.
Remember, like, because when you were a kid, you'd, like, look at your parents and you're like, these people know everything.
Yes.
They know exactly what they're
so
doing.
Right. Yeah.
And then you hit an age when you look at them and you're like, wait a second. They also don't know.
They're like, oh, you did that. They did this wrong. Like,
they also don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just going. They're learning as they go as well too.
So then, like, this forgiveness hopefully comes in, you know. But then there are always, like, the cases of kids that, like, their parents, like, really screwed them, like, really, like, you know.
Then they become drug addicts or homeless
or really fucking successful, because again, it comes to that chemistry of, like, you don't know what's gonna come out.
There's also another book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Have you read that? Okay. So, like, I think he says something in there where it's like rich people are, like, destined to be rich. Like, when you have rich kids, because of their personality, because of the way, the mentality, the way that the parents raise their children up to be, because they're successful. Even though their children, like, some of them may be, like, fuck-ups or, like, whatever you may call them, they still have that mentality of a rich person.
Okay. I see what the point of that book is, and this is the way I take that, because I did read that book when I was really young. I think it's really good lessons. It might not work the best when it comes to your children, because what I've seen in my many years of, like, living in LA and hanging out just like you with, like, many wealthy people, and I have a lot of psychologist friends who work at rehabs.
Oh,
and
really?
what you see a lot is that the richest, wealthiest families have the most fucked up kids ever. Have the most educated, wealthy, upscale families, their kids, by average, are drug addicts, party animals, and they don't have much to contribute to the society. Yeah. So then it comes back to, okay, so if you're saying that, hey, if you have educated, wealthy, like, rich dad, you know, type of family, then obviously you should be the golden kid, like all of them should be, right?
Yeah.
So then why is it that it's not that at all?
Yeah,
you know?
So they do get a lot of things handed down to them.
Exactly.
And so they can't work to make that money like their parents have sacrificed.
It takes away your drive.
It does. That's why I'm so glad that I was, like, brought up in a family that wasn't rich. Yeah. Like, because now when I see money, I take it more seriously. I'm not, like, throwing it away.
You have something to work towards, and I feel like that's the most fundamental thing we need as humans. Like, we need to work towards something. You need to wake up in the morning.
And, like, be motivated to do something.
Right. I mean, do you have days when you, like, wake up and, like, you don't have anything to do?
I had before, now no. Right now, no. I'm so busy right now.
Yeah, I know you are.
But before, like, I would wake up and be like, wait, what am I doing?
Like, if it's one day, if it's just a Sunday and you're busy the rest of the week, you're going to enjoy your Sunday not doing anything. But if a few days, a few weeks go by and you're not really longing for something, life feels like shit.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like shit because you need to wake up and you need to work towards something.
Yeah.
So let's say you just have like all this fucking money. You don't have to work. You have all this fucking money. You don't have to go to school. You have all this fucking money.
Yeah.
You don't have to figure out ways to talk to girls, or you don't have to figure out ways to develop your character because you have all this fucking money.
Yeah, money. I do feel like money does ruin a lot of things.
It ruins you.
It does. I like completely agree. It really does ruin you.
So my plan is, when I become rich, I'm gonna raise my kids in a way that they don't know mommy and daddy are rich.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make them so happy.
Yeah.
That they have something to eat and they have roof over their heads, and like that's my go-to plan.
Yeah.
Like I do not want spoiled fucking kids because I know where that goes. And
Yeah.
that's not good.
I don't want spoiled kids either. But also, like, I don't want to bring up money at all. Like, I felt like I was so in love with money because my parents brought money up a lot because we were struggling. We lost a lot of money in that 2008 economic. Yeah, they're doing much better, of course, obviously. It's been like 10 years. But anyways, back in the day, like 4 kids living in a house, like what are you going to do? Everyone needs to eat. You know, it's like a lot of mouths to feed. Yeah. And back in the day, my mom also didn't work. Yeah. So
your dad carried the whole weight.
Exactly. So I really appreciate him for that.
So, okay, when you go on a date, who needs to pay?
So right now or just in general, if I were single?
Right now you're with someone?
Right now I have a boyfriend, yeah.
Both. Why don't you go with with your boyfriend?
Usually he pays, but I will, like, I have no problem, like, because we, like, share money a lot, so I have no problem, like, paying whenever.
But,
so,
like, how often do you pay? How often does he pay?
So he pays, like, 99% of the time. Even though I make my own money and I make, like, good money, he actually always offers to pay because he told me it's like an ego type of man thing that he has. Like, he feels like he needs to take care of his girl.
Yeah, he's a manly
And he
man.
feels like, he told me, like, I'm the most important thing to him. So, like, obviously he wants me to be, like, happy, and he doesn't want me to worry about money or anything.
And how long have you guys been dating for?
2 years.
Okay, so now let's say you're single.
Okay.
And you go on a first date.
The man needs to pay.
Why do you say it like that?
Because.
Why do you say it unsure?
Oh, wow, I said it unsure, but let me be stern about it. I feel like the man should pay on the first date. I feel like he shouldn't pay, he should offer. And I have no problem. Like, back in the day, I would always offer to pay half. Yeah. I would never offer for his meal, but I would offer to pay my portion. Yeah. Like, because of how I was raised. It took me like 2 years to realize, to be like, oh, I don't really want to offer anymore. Because secretly, deep down inside, like, I'm like, oh, back at like 4 years ago, I'm like, I'm not that rich. Like, I don't want to, like, pay my money. I want him to pay for me. Yeah. But since I also had that mentality of, oh, I need to pay for my own stuff. So I would want him to offer, and I want him to fight for the bill, and I want him to end up paying, basically. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind, like, offering as well.
So is that just for a first date, or like, do you think the guy?
I feel like that's just for the first date.
How about a second date?
The second date, I don't mind paying, but I feel like most of the times I've been on a date, the guy would pay. Like,
but you don't mind paying.
I wouldn't mind paying, but I say that, but that has never happened to me where I actually paid. You know what I mean?
But if it were to happen,
then I would be sour as shit. I'd be like, ugh, like, I can't believe I offered, or I can't believe, like, he's paying. Like,
but then would you see that guy again?
It depends on our compatibility, because money doesn't really, it's depending. Like for me, I want to date someone like at my age. Like, if I were single at my age, like right now, I want to date somebody that's motivated. So if a man can't pay for me, even on the second date, I probably wouldn't see him again, because that means he's not well off. And I feel like if you're more successful at my age, you should be able to, like,
cover it.
Yeah. Or even offer to, like, you're bringing me on a date. You're trying to woo me. Like, I'm not trying to woo you. Actually, maybe I am.
I'm your guest.
Yes.
I feel like when you ask someone to go out with you, you're asking them to be your guest.
Yeah. And
you should pay for your guest.
Yeah. Right? That's a good point. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
So, I mean, this could be very unpopular idea, or opinion rather, but like, I stick by it 100%, especially because of my background. Like, where I come from, this is not even a debate.
Oh, really?
This is not even like a question to
Oh,
be
really?
asked. 100%
Wow.
of the times the guy pays. Even if the guy is not someone you're dating. Like, there will be times
That's
where
crazy. From where you come from, like how you grew up.
100%.
Wow.
Like, this is very Middle Eastern. And
So you would like, even like, let's say you were dating somebody for like long-term relationship, like would you ever pay for anything?
so here's how it breaks down in Middle East. I'm not just saying my country.
Oh yeah, I'm
but
so
like
curious.
the whole Middle East.
Yeah.
Because I've known people from there, and I know people from there, so I'm not just like speaking out of my ass. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
and
that,
you're
like,
Middle
this is how it
Eastern,
is.
so yeah.
Exactly. So I don't think it should be to the extent that it is in my country, because it makes it a little uncomfortable for the men. You know, like what the fuck, kind of. Like, for example.
So if you were to ask, they would be like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, so now let me tell you. In my country, if you were to go out with a guy and, like, let's say you guys are dating and the check comes, it's not even a question to be asked. Like, if you reach for your wallet, that's offensive.
Oh, for real?
That's offensive.
Oh my God.
To the guy.
Get out. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it?
It's just like this manly thing.
Wow.
Like,
what?
I take care of the woman I just brought out.
So, but they
with
find
me.
it offensive? But like, what if you
Yes.
don't know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you don't know, like, it's fine. You know, they understand.
Yeah.
But like, you there's no way you're gonna
Wow, that's crazy.
So then I think that's hot and that's sexy, because the guy
I think that's
go on a
sexy
date
too,
with,
yeah.
I want him to like 100%
Yeah.
pay. But then it kind of like gets too much, in a sense that now all men should pay for all women when they go out. So here's an example.
Okay.
Now let's say I go out with a guy friend.
Okay.
It's not a date.
Yeah.
We're not hooking up.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be responsible for paying for
Exactly.
me.
Yeah.
But then again, in my country, the guy still pays.
Oh no, really?
Here's even a worse example.
Oh my God. Sure.
This one
Tell
really
me.
pisses me off.
Okay.
Because I'm very close with my brother, as I mentioned.
Okay,
Like,
yes.
extremely close. And like, growing up, my brother would like come and hang out with me and my girlfriends, and I would go hang out with him and his guy friends. Like, we were just like friends.
super close family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's say like me and 3 of my girlfriends go have juice or whatever, and my brother comes. Just because he's the man, he feels like he needs to pay for me and all of my friends. And I would always tell my brother, like, no, like, don't, like, this makes no fucking sense.
But he still does it.
You're not responsible for my friends. Yeah, just because it's so cultural to do that.
So it's funny because now the boyfriend that I'm like, my man, if I go out with my friends that are all like girls, even other guys, he feels the need to pay.
Where is he from?
So he's literally from New York. He's
Oh, okay.
Queens, but I'm Taiwanese. Like basically, I started talking to him because he's half Taiwanese, and I don't find a lot of Taiwanese guys, and I love dating within my culture. Like
I think I've seen a picture of you guys together. He's really cute.
yeah, he's really cute.
You guys look really cute together.
Yeah, we're really cute together. He's really cute. He's so big. He's 6'2",
Yeah.
like 200, like
And you're
40
tiny.
pounds.
How
I'm
tall are
literally
you?
100 pounds. I'm 4'11". Yeah, so I'm like 4'11". He's 6'2". Like we're really cute together.
You're a
though.
tiny human being.
I'm so small. I really am. So that's why I'm like.
My roommate is also 4'11", but she says she's 5.
Yeah, a lot of people say I look like I'm like 5'2" or something.
Yeah.
But it's because I always wear heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you come to US, and now it's like, you know, kind of falling from the other end of the spectrum. Actually, I don't think it's that bad here. Like, I haven't paid on that many dates myself either. I think I've paid on 2 dates.
So what did you think about that? Because was he like Middle Eastern or no?
Who?
The 2 dates that you went on that you paid?
No. Full on American.
Oh, full on
obviously.
American. And you paid?
Obviously.
How did you pay?
So
Like, how
this
did
is-
it go about?
So this is what happened. The
Okay.
first one that happened was like college. Like, obviously nobody has money. I didn't really expect him to like cover the whole thing, you
Yeah.
know? Because we're like 18.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then you turn like 24, 25, and the guy is like, you know, whatever, 26, 27, 28, 30. That's the age where you, I think, should 100% know mannerism. You should know how to act like a gentleman. You should know that if you want your dick to ever touch this person, you need to pay for the bill.
Exactly. Period. Like, literally, period.
So the first date that I paid, I didn't mind. But then the second one, I was dating this actor guy.
Ugh.
Like,
I'm sorry, but like, okay.
not gonna
Keep
name,
going.
not gonna name him, but like he
Okay.
was in a movie with like J-Lo.
Yeah.
You know, he was like this
Yeah.
really cute guy.
Yeah.
Like really, really. Like I remember like we were just talking, I would just like look at him like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
you're cute as fuck. And so like we had the first date where it was the kind of situation where you would have to go order to the counter and pay, and then you go sit and they would bring your food. Not like a normal you eat and then they bring you the check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then he got there before me. So he ordered his food and sat. So when I got there, I was like, oh, I guess I'll just go order my food. Even though the nice thing for him would be to get off his seat, come with me to the, register, see what I order, and then pay for it.
Yeah.
But, he kind of like hung back, and I was like, okay. So I like ordered my food, paid for it, sat down, we talked. Second day, however, we went to a restaurant where the format was you eat and they bring you the check, right? Like normal situation.
Yeah.
So we ate, talked, and they brought the check, and I always offer to pay.
Yeah.
I always do.
Wait, so even when you're with people that are Middle Eastern, you even offer to pay?
Always offer to pay.
But I thought you said
Always.
it's like they get mad if you reach into your...
If don't insist,
Oh, okay.
don't insist, but
you always offer to pay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I always do. I always like show my
Yeah.
mannerism. I always like offer.
Yeah.
And look, I don't mind. Fuck, I'll pick up the whole check.
So he literally said yes, and you're like, what?
The thing is, like, I don't mind. Like, I'll pick up the whole check.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not gonna talk to you after this.
Exactly. I wouldn't talk to someone
I'm just not
after,
gonna see you after this.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm like short or like I don't like I'm here to get a free meal. No. It's about you knowing the
You know what?
basic
Yeah, I agree.
things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
yeah.
about you understanding the
Yeah.
basic things of taking a woman out.
Yeah.
It's not even about the money.
Yeah.
So when they brought the check, I offered as usual. And I was like, hey, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
And then you covered the whole bill?
No, I just covered half. I just covered my half.
Oh, yeah, no.
And
Hell
then,
no.
just,
Goodbye.
yeah.
You will never see me again.
Straight up. And the thing is, another thing that I really hold myself to is like sometimes even ghosting people is so easy because like sometimes you don't vibe with someone or you see something from them that you're like, fuck that. And you just want to like vanish and you don't want to like have that awkward, confrontational like conversation. But I always like feel like it's my responsibility to let somebody know where they fucked up so they can work on it.
Yeah.
So I like stopped responding to him.
But did you tell him that it was because
If they ask, if they care to
Oh,
ask,
if
because
they
sometimes
care. So,
people
yeah.
don't care, and I'm not
so
gonna.
you won't openly just tell them?
Right. But if somebody like hits me up and be like, "Hey, I thought we had a good connection, but then now I'm feeling like you're not interested anymore. I wonder what went wrong."
Yeah.
I respect that so much.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for someone who wants to know what they did wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And you know what? I
told
feel like
them.
I don't really get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like being people asking and like being communicative. And I feel like that's communication is like the most important thing in a relationship. Compatibility and communication.
And like not just like a man and woman like type relationship and like friends in your families. Like we just really have not really been taught how to communicate well. Huh? Do you want more? Yeah. Okay. But then I thought, so I did that to that guy just to wrap up the story. But then I thought about like the date we had and the conversation we had. So this guy, and I really hope he would never listen to this.
Yeah.
But
I'm like same.
But in the date he was telling me how he moved to LA many years ago.
Okay.
And he was living in a house with like 5 other guys, just like the whole hustle, like barely new to LA, trying to become an actor.
Yes.
And, barely anybody makes it. So, he finally like gets his break and like gets a couple like, big movie, like, And so then he, obviously moves out and buys his own house, which I saw. This house was like 3 stories.
Wow.
Not like in a super nice area. It was in the valley, and like from outside it didn't look all that. But like you go inside and you're like, okay, because he's still a new actor. So you can tell, okay, like he's getting off his feet. So then he tells me how his 23-year-old brother wants to move to LA, but doesn't have anywhere to stay, and asked him if he can move in with him. And he told him, I'm not here to like, babysit anyone. I came here.
Wait, his brother?
Yeah, I came here. I hustled.
What?
I made my own money. Like, I took care of myself. If you want to do the same thing.
So he basically didn't let him stay there?
So me being the super like family oriented, like super close to
No,
my family, I
yeah.
looked at him and I was like, you have a whole level dedicated to office. You don't need a fucking office. You're an actor. Give that to your brother. Give a room to your brother, to your own brother.
When my sister comes to visit me, I take her everywhere. I took her to like Dan Bilzerian's party. I took her to, she was like having the time of her life. I took her to like every single like mansion I was shooting at. She came with me.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm getting.
It is hot as fuck in here.
It's so hot, and I think it's because we're drinking too.
And these stories are like bringing back.
I know memories, right? So like, what did you do after that? Like,
just didn't talk to him.
Just because of that, yeah. But you know what?
But tell you what,
that's
though,
good. I'm glad you stopped talking to him because that's not right to treat your brother.
No. That was fucked up. Tell you what though, many years later, like actually like I think it was this year, I found this girl on Instagram that I really liked.
Yeah.
And this comes to me very often where I like find like someone, whoever really, but like usually like a girl that I like look at her stuff and I'm like, I feel like I would vibe with her.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like we're into the same things, like from the stuff they post, from their captions. Like I feel like we would be the same vibe. And I would just literally slide into the DMs and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Want to be friends? And I've like made so many of my close friends like that.
Yeah.
So I found this girl that like is into like shoot. Oh my God, I shouldn't give more of this out. So like I found this girl that's like into shooting guns, is super fit, like super healthy, like seems really intelligent. And I really liked her. And I like go to look at her pictures and I see that she is now married to that guy.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I was like,
wait, she's married to that guy? That,
and I was like,
but
how?
you literally slid into her. How did you not know? You didn't see any of her stories?
No, I didn't follow her. Like I was just like, you know, looking at her page. Thinking, like, oh, I think I could be friends with this girl. Like we could go shooting, you know? And then I saw that she's married to this guy and I was like,
so you know what? Maybe he dates similar girls.
No, but then it made me think like, okay, maybe like the things that matter so much to me, like picking up a check, maybe they're not that important in the, like a grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
You know, because this girl obviously seems smart and like, you know, seems like doing great.
Yeah.
It's not like he's married to a loser girl.
Yeah.
But like she found him amazing enough to marry him, you know?
Exactly.
So maybe
they're fit to be with each other.
Right. So maybe something that I found so like a big no to the point where like right after that date, I was like, I'm never talking to this guy again.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that to somebody else is just like, I'll just pay for myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe like she's probably American. She was raised with the kind of culture that like
culture, so she doesn't care.
Pay for myself.
That's
not
crazy.
A big deal.
What are the chances of that?
Yeah.
You know, finding that girl and like you're like, oh, like I feel like we could be friends, and then like realizing, wow, like that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah. Like 100%. I literally would be like, whoa, okay. I need to step back. Let me look for another girl to be like friends with.
But that was like literally the only occasion I ever like paid. Cause, you know, thankfully every other guy I went out with just knew better.
Yeah.
Knew better to like, it's just the gesture. It's just a beautiful like gentleman, you know. It's just nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as a girl, you should always offer to pay.
Yeah.
And you should genuinely offer to pay.
Yeah.
I don't think you should do that stupid dance where you're like pretending like you're looking for your wallet. Like, no, pull out your wallet.
Yeah.
Pull out your card.
Yeah.
Actually mean to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but hopefully the guy will know better to be like, you know what? Thank you for coming out tonight. I enjoyed having this meal with you.
So
I'll cover this.
On dating, like, are you dating anybody right now?
No.
How come?
I just broke up with my ex. So, you know, now I'm just kind of like.
How long has it been?
Officially, it's been a couple months.
Are you okay?
I am now because I'm like finally starting to like, you know, see other guys and, you know, like having a little more fun.
How long were you guys dating for?
3 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was my first boyfriend, first relationship.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
It was your first relationship?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 28 now.
Oh, okay.
So I was 24.
It was your first relationship?
I was 24 when I met him. We started kind of breaking up in like February. So it's been a few months, but it was
Why did you guys break
He lives in Cabo.
up? Oh.
I live in LA.
But he's Mexican?
He is.
Oh.
Yeah. He's actually half Latino, half American, but he was born in Cabo.
Okay.
Moved to the States for like a while, went to school here, started businesses here, but then, realized he has like better job opportunities in Cabo, which is fully understandable, which is why I also never like asked him like, if you love me, move to LA for me,
Yeah. So that was very tough too, but
That's a different guy.
that's a different guy. Yeah.
4 years is a long time.
4 years is a long time. I loved him. We were very compatible. Like he was my best friend.
Yeah.
Like even like when I was in LA, he was my best friend until he got a girlfriend. Now he doesn't talk to me at all anymore.
Well,
so he definitely won't listen to this podcast.
While you guys were together, or
Oh no. He got like we were best friends. Like even like after we broke up, we were like best friends, like just friends. Like whenever I'd go back to Boston, I'd visit their family. I'm so close to their mom, his siblings, and then 2 years ago when I started dating my man, he kind of also got a girlfriend for the first time since we broke up. And ever since then, he just like literally told me like, listen, I can't talk to you at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't get how people are friends with their exes.
Oh, you don't?
No. That's a myth.
It depends. It's like with him, I just felt like, yeah. I mean, like I'm not like the reason why we also broke up, like why I wanted to break up with him is because we were so close. Like it's very hard to understand. I was so close to him as best friends because I was living with his family at their house for 3 years. That I thought that he was like more at the end of the day, he was more of like my brother, not my brother. He was more of like a friend than like somebody that I want to be sexual with. So it turned to me being attracted to him being my best friend.
I see.
Yeah, but like of course you want to be best friends and attracted to your lover, but he just like, even though I don't know if it was because we were dating for so long, I just like felt like we were just too close that he was like, I like just wasn't like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I've only had one ex in my life, but yeah, I don't think being friends is really an option.
Yeah.
So, like whenever like we
So you
broke
don't
up,
think that you'll be friends with,
no.
even though you're civil with him, you don't want him in your life at all forever?
We're very civil in a way that I genuinely wish the best for him. Like,
but
genuinely.
Because you guys were dating, I figure that he was also your best friend for those 3 years, right?
Well, yeah. Also, he was a good man. He never did me wrong. He never lied. He never cheated. He never manipulated me.
Yeah.
He never did anything sketchy.
Yeah.
So looking back at it, I can't help but wish him the best.
But you just wouldn't be friends with him.
I can't be friends with him.
Because you feel like you would have those feelings.
Just because if I'm dating someone new, I feel like they would deserve better to think that I even have, a 1 in a million part of my brain thinking to, get back with my ex. I don't know if that sentence really made sense. But what I'm saying is...
I love that you said that.
It's like when you're dating someone new and you kind of have your ex in your life, you could say all that you want, we're friends, but it's a little bit of injustice to the person you're dating now.
I kind of feel like you can be friends with your exes because, like, I'm okay with my ex being friends with his exes, even though, like, they're not, like, friends, like, they're not, like, talking. Okay, like, I would not be okay with them being, like, best friends. Yeah. I don't want them talking every day.
Yeah.
But, like once in a blue moon, like, because I feel like his exes, I'm not, like, threatened by, or like I don't really care like really like anymore, because I'm like you know what, I'm doing like so well for myself, like I feel like I don't really care, like if that's like if he finds comfort in like talking, that's fine, but he doesn't at all. But I feel like I would be okay if like as long as I know about it, as long as I see the conversation, then it's fine.
Hey,
but not everybody.
Maybe one
not
day,
not everybody. Yeah,
maybe
it
like
depends on the circumstance.
Maybe like years from now.
Yeah.
When like the memories are so
right now it's too soon.
Right now it's too
even
soon.
Thinking about that.
The thing with like how they say like time heals. The thing with time is you make new memories. The place that you used to go with that person, now you go with new people.
Yeah.
The song that you used to listen to with that person, now you listen with new people.
Yeah.
So now there are all these like new memories that pile up and bury what, like, you know, old memories you had with that person.
Yeah.
So now you just don't think of them as much. You don't like romanticize your relationship. You don't like fantasize the time you had with them as much. Whereas when it's new, you haven't really buried those. Not bury in a bad way where you like, you know, brush it under the rug, like you try to like ignore it. No. Bury in a healthy way, in a way that like you move on and you make new friends and you date new people and you make new memories, and eventually they slowly fade away.
Yeah.
You know?
But would you be okay with him fading away?
It doesn't matter if I'm okay with it
I
or
mean,
not.
it's so crazy
Sometimes
to
your
me.
opinion doesn't matter.
Really, because I feel like it's so crazy to me how somebody could be literally so close to you. Like you could be so close doing something and also like very far apart all of a sudden.
What
Like,
do you mean?
It's just so sad to me. Like you could be dating someone that you love so much and that you guys could be so close, share all your secrets with, and all of a sudden like in like a snap, like
I know.
it disappears.
Yeah.
And it's like they're removed from your life because of all these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, that's like one of the things that I always find so crazy about like people is how quickly you go from strangers to loving someone, and then how quickly you go from lovers to strangers. You know, it's like, how does that happen so quickly?
Yeah.
How can you just like,
It happens.
and it's so insane. It's like the only thing you can think of is people don't owe you an explanation ever, really, honestly. Like if you actually get to get closure, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
That's a luxury.
Yeah.
To get closure is a luxury.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people will just drop you and move on. Like they don't owe you shit. People don't owe you shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to figure your own thing out and you have to move on.
yeah.
You know? So, yeah, it's an amazing thing if you can be civil with your ex and you can have a conversation and you guys can like hug it out and be like, look, I wish you the best. You've done like, you know, nothing wrong to me, or maybe you did this and this wrong, but you know, I forgive, and you know, we can move on and like seek better for ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Because honestly, it does. Like if you did love somebody like that, then yeah, it is better to move on because you don't want to respect that. There are people that think that you can't get back together with your ex, and there's also people who do go back to their ex. But
it's really hard not to go back to your ex. We like, I mean, I hate to like keep bringing like personal examples. I don't really like talking about it, but like I see in my friends all the time where like, you know, they get back with their exes, and it's so understandable because I mean, it's not very strong-minded. It's not very like, you're not showing a lot of discipline by doing that, because let's be real, he hasn't changed or she hasn't changed. So like, what are you really going back to? You're going back to your comfort zone. You're going back to what's familiar. You know, you just want to go back to, you know, the same arms that made you feel, you know, safe and comfortable.
yeah.
And, you know, the same love that you've known for so long. But you're not really moving forward by doing that. You're not doing yourself any favor.
Yeah. That's true. You're right.
If nothing has changed, sometimes, you know, sometimes people make improvements. I mean, I do genuinely believe people don't change, but people make improvements.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know?
They can definitely make improvements. Like personal development, I feel like is a big part of it. Like even like learning psychology, like it's like amazing to me.
It takes time though, and it needs to be self-inflicted. Like I don't think you can get someone to change ever. I genuinely believe that.
I believe that you should not change a person and a person shouldn't change for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes people will like have this realization, and it's internalized is what I mean. So like the need for change for them comes internally, where they feel like, I need to fucking change this. If I want a better life, if I want better relationships.
Yes,
I want to be
friendships,
happier,
relationships, yes.
I need to do this. So it's like, because we're so selfish inherently, if you're ever going to do anything, if you're ever going to change anything, it needs to be internally.
You have to be the person to be aware of that feeling.
Right.
Exactly. You won't change unless you're aware of that. Then you can find steps by yourself, because I feel like every action every behavior that you do, that's your own decision. That's the way that you think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree.
So, okay, so now that guy, you finally left him.
Yeah.
And then what came after that?
So
Or what other experiences have you had dating in LA? Because I know
like,
dating in LA is
that
like
was
such a thing of its own.
that was probably the worst and the
Yeah.
only like in LA. Yeah. Um, let's see. I was like heartbroken from that, so I needed like a while to be single. So I was single, and then I like really missed being in a relationship because it is hard being single.
Mm.
Like sorry, my voice is getting like raspier as I talk. But
Do you want some water?
yeah, I'm gonna drink some water.
Get some water, girl.
Like I feel like for me, my voice gets so raspy if I talk for a long time.
You sound like you've been partying.
I know. I was partying this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. It was my best friend's birthday, so it was Sing's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sing. By the way, I was introduced to Anthia by my amazing makeup artist,
Sing, who happens to be my best friend.
who, yeah, is her best friend, and now he's here.
Yeah.
We always, like, meet at a studio at, like, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Where I, like, early in the morning, I do not have a mouth.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no, I'm sure. I
cannot talk.
I don't know how you wake up at 7 a.m. because I could not ever. I would probably just stay up all night, I guess.
I wake up at 6. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, every day?
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
I try to go to bed around like 11. I do need like full 7 hours.
Yeah.
And so I usually like go to bed.
11 is
like
still pretty
11.
late for you to wake up at 6.
Is it?
I don't know.
Sometimes I go to bed at like 1 and I still wake up at 6. Like with no alarm. I just wake up at 6.
For like, how long have you been like this? Like your whole life?
I've always been an early rise. Like whenever I wake up past 8, I just feel
Like not good.
like, yeah, no.
For me, I feel like I can get most of my work done. Like I answer my emails and I like write my like questions.
And like from 8 a.m. to like 11 a.m. is my most productive time. So I have like 3 hours really to just like really nail it.
Wow.
And then I start like I really have to like
that's good though.
Like schedule my time.
Yeah.
Like early I do my like work that needs the most like brain power. I don't drink coffee either, so you know I really have to schedule my time on like my natural I guess energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In the morning I do it and then just slowly fades away. I still want to nap in the middle of the day, and I'm like, no, can't get used to that.
Well, oh yeah, no. I know what you're talking about because I love to nap too, but
napping in the middle of the day feels like such a luxurious thing to do.
yeah, but I
such
literally
a rich
I'm
thing
not
to do.
I'm not a napper at all. Like I just can't, but I would love to be able to have the time to do that.
Have you ever gotten cheated on?
I have. I have actually.
Such a segue.
Have you ever gotten cheated on?
I've never cheated or gotten cheated on.
Oh, you know what? You only had one relationship.
Mainly because, yeah, I had one boyfriend, and, like, you
He was
know,
perfect,
the
yeah.
guy I dated was just, like, never try to make me jealous.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
So this is my take on cheating. Like, I do believe that people could get back together after cheating, but that's not me. If my man were to ever cheat on me, like, goodbye. Like, for real. I cannot.
It's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker. Like, if he ever like cheat on me, like ever, period, like even something little, just the fact that you did that is like not cool to me.
100% of the
So
time.
I like just would not be with him.
Have you ever gotten cheated on?
But I have, and I feel like that really affected my relationships.
Which guy?
My first boyfriend cheated on me.
Wait, how many relationships have you had? Like
Long
serious?
term.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like over, let's say.
Do you count the millionaire guys as a serious relationship?
I mean, what would you
don't.
call a serious relationship? Like anything that's over like 6 months?
No.
I think in LA time, dating over 6 months is pretty fucking serious.
I feel like it's not really time, it's how you feel with them. So I would say I've been in like, Well, actually, the millionaire, was he serious? No, I never thought I was gonna marry him. To be honest,
See, I
with you.
disagree with that though, because people are
So
really
you
good
think
at
that he's
inflicting.
more serious?
I think time is the most important thing, and I
So
know
what about 9 months? Because my life
in LA,
drastically
yeah.
changed like when I was with him. Oh my god, everything went bad. He like made Instagrams like, oh my god, added all my friends, like said I was like all these lies. Oh my god, posted me, posted our videos. Like,
are you like, is your type the toxic type? A little.
I wouldn't say it's toxic, but I do like bad boys.
But like bad in a sense, not that like they like ride motorcycles and like
no,
like
that.
in a bad, like he's a bad guy.
Oh no,
not a bad boy, but he's a bad guy.
So what I mean by bad guy is like somebody that's like kind of hood. I like a kind of hood guy. I like someone like a little ghetto. I like someone that can like take care of me. I like someone that's big and strong, and that like. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I like players. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
You like
I
players?
Love players. Yeah.
See, I don't understand girls that like players.
So the thing is, my boyfriend now actually was like a big ass player, and I'm his first real relationship.
Okay.
And I'm the first girl that like he told me that he's actually loved, and that's what him and
how
like,
old is he?
He's like 3 years older than me.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're a baby too.
No, I'm 28.
Yeah, but he's
very
30.
Different.
30, even 30, I'm like, he's a baby because I usually date much older.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so he's, you know, like you think he's, you know, you guys gonna get married and everything?
But I don't, like he always tells me like we're gonna get married. But it's like.
But what if he's saying that to 5 other girls? I'm
so
sorry,
the thing
I don't want to like, you know, put insecurities in you.
Oh no, you're not, because I'm so confident in him. Like because we've been together for 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like I literally would have left if like really anything happened. I'm not going just with Dan Bilzerian. My manager is Dan Bilzerian's photographer, so it's like. I need to like go
make that money.
I need to go make that money.
And you're
like
be
I can make so
it.
much money. Like I said before, like the girls were making so much money, and I'm not gonna sleep with anybody. I'm not doing anything like that. But what a great experience for me to live that lifestyle, take that pictures, which is my job to take pictures, and have that experience for 2 weeks. You know?
Yeah, it's just I think. There's definitely a professional way.
Yeah, but then there's this thing like I need to take the vaccine. There's this whole thing now, so I don't know if I'm gonna go anymore.
Where are you guys going?
So they're already on their trip. Like they've been on a trip. They went to like Croatia. They went to like
beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think you could travel with Dan Bilzerian and like still be professional and get paid
of
and,
course,
like, do your thing.
Yeah.
But there's such a huge stigma around him. Obviously, that like everybody knows. Everybody thinks like every girl that's around Dan Bilzerian, like he's fucked and like
you know what, 90%
like,
pretty
his,
much.
Like, harem.
So.
That's why every time I go to his
a lot
parties,
of girls, yes, but.
That's why every time I go to his parties, because he like used to throw like the best parties like ever. Like I don't know, now that he's moved out of his house, I don't know like what the deal is.
Yeah.
But he really like his parties were like the best.
Yeah, they were.
But like every time I would go to his parties and I would like see a camera, I would just like
yeah
get out of that picture.
Yeah, like I remember like I was part of Ignite, so like I had to go to the parties too. It was so much fun. Like I really, really enjoyed. Like they threw like the best parties. So it is a lot of fun. But yeah, like you know what? It is hard for my man to trust me, and I'm so glad that he does. Like all it takes is basically communication.
And lots of trust.
And we like basically said like I told him, you know what? I'll FaceTime you every day. But then today, I ended up not taking the vaccine. So there's that whole like ordeal now. So my man's like super happy because he thinks I'm not going, but we're gonna see because I might take it tomorrow. So who knows?
So he like wants you to not go, but he also respects it that like you want to go and you have to go.
Yeah, almost. And he told me he's like he was very clear. Like he's like, you know, like I want to marry you. You're the first woman you're the only woman I love. Like you're the first person I ever loved in my life. Like the first love is like very different. Like you're very attached to them, like I know, because I had my first love. And I'm glad to be his first love because I feel like I know like he would literally never try to leave me because he always wants to make it work. Every single time I'm ready to leave because I'm a runner.
Yeah.
I will book a flight, goodbye. Like
she's a runner, she's a track star.
Hey, for real, I'm a track star. But he is so mature, and
Good.
he's more mature than the guy that was like, he's more mature than any guy I've ever dated that was older than him.
Yeah.
He does a lot of personal development. You know what I mean? Like, he has his own businesses. Like, he teaches me to like really learn, like, hey, you can't just run from me because you have history with me. You need to stay and like figure this shit out because we love each other. It doesn't matter. We love each other. So you better
grounded.
figure your shit out. Yeah. He's like, he always tells me it's all in your mind. Like, that's how he got me into personal development. Yeah.
What is like the biggest, like, what did you see in him initially that you were like, this is the biggest turn on for me?
When I first saw him, he was like big, like super tall.
Yeah.
He was Asian, and I wasn't like, I thought he was super hot, but I wasn't interested in him. But then when he told me he was Taiwanese, it was like game over.
Yes, daddy.
Yes, because it's very rare to like for me to find like a Taiwanese person. Like, I'm like, because I'm Taiwanese, the country is small. So it's like when you say you're Taiwanese, I'm like, oh my God, like I feel like we have so much like,
In
oh my God,
common.
yes, like I want to get to know you more. Like, you're from my country, my parents are from there. It's just like it clicks.
Yeah.
So when he said he was Taiwanese, I was like,
Game over for all the
yeah, I'm like,
bitches.
ooh, I'm like attracted to you like now way more that you're Taiwanese. Like, hello, daddy. Like,
What's the biggest turn off for you? Like, not just with your boyfriend, but like in a guy. What would you say is the biggest turn off?
not being empathetic. Like, I feel like in a relationship, it's harder to be in a relationship than being single. So I feel like the hardest, like the biggest turn off is literally when they don't try and they don't work with you. They don't come 50%. So that means communication. Communication is key. Like, compatibility is like, oh, that's just seeing like if we can like be friends, seeing if we can be best friends, if we can get along. Communication is, I feel like, the number one key, because communication, you have to talk through everything. If you have a disagreement, if you don't see things the way, I know everyone has their own opinions. Everyone is their own person, so that means that everyone was brought up differently. So everyone sees things differently because you did not have the same childhood. But with him, it's like a turnoff would be like if you didn't like try to make it work through communication, because what would make it work with different childhoods? If I'm super Christian and you're super laid back, you're okay with drinking every night, you're okay with going out. I'm not okay with, like, let's say drinking every night. I'm not okay with like going out. Let's say I'm super Christian or like super like religious like I was back then. Then communication would fix that issue to compromise and come to like a certain
Effort is so sexy. I think effort is probably the sexiest thing ever. But also, liking someone is much more important than loving them. Liking someone comes before loving them and stays after the love fades away.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is when you like someone, you like their personality, you like their characteristic, you like how they operate, you know?
Yeah.
And then love is just like all these like strong emotions you feel towards someone. And you know, as we all know, emotions are fleeting. They come and go. They come really strongly. And you know, they may last for whoever knows a few years, hopefully, and then it goes away. And what's really remaining is, do you like this person after the love fades away? Do you like who they are? Do you like the person they are?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's the best thing you can have with someone is liking them before loving them. Like, I know liking sounds like less than love, but I think liking someone is so much more important than loving them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Love comes and goes. You love somebody today, and, like, the next day, you're like, I don't love you right now. Like, you're annoying.
But you know
whatever.
what? I kind of like agree to disagree, because it's like you can love someone, but also you can be in love. So I feel like those two different words are like different, even though it's like love, in love, and being and loving someone is different. So when you say that, when you love someone the next day, like if they make you angry, you don't love them anymore. When you're in love, that doesn't really happen. You're still in love with them. You're just angry at them.
True. No, but I mean like over years, you know, like when you like, let's say marry someone and like you guys been married for 20 years, the love tends to go away.
Because that's more like behavior. That's more like you're comfortable. That's why you, in long-term relationships, like, honestly, I can't really say for facts, but my longest was like 4.5 years. But even then, it's like the spark does tend to fade away.
Yeah.
But you do need to find like the freakiness or the sexy, or like you need to find something to bring that spark back. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it gets harder and harder though, you know?
Yeah. That's why compatibility is so important.
Yeah.
Because if you're really compatible with somebody, like the spark really won't like.
Yeah. If you're compatible with someone and they like, sometimes you literally feel like you guys fit like a puzzle, you know? And I think a lot of times, especially in our generation, like we fall in love with someone when we're like intoxicated.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes,
like how many
100%.
people do you think they say their first I love you when they're intoxicated? I would say a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Because you're bolder, like you're having fun, like
It's those strong emotions.
yes.
I think anything that is a strong emotion is not reliable, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
like
true.
I fully get your point, but like the base of what I'm saying is you can't base your relationship or your marriage based on strong emotions, because that tends to go away rather quickly, actually.
Yeah.
And what really remains is the person that you are and the person that they are and how you guys fit together.
Yeah.
If you take those strong emotions out of it, how are you guys actually fitting together as two people?
Exactly. Yeah, that's such a good point. Yeah. Like I feel like you can't really fit together when it's like if you guys are drinking every night and you're going out every night,
You're doing drugs, you're going to festivals.
together,
all the time.
honestly, you know what? Together, that does sometimes bring you closer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Molly might bring you guys closer because of all
Molly
that
will definitely bring
heightened
you closer.
emotion. Like if you guys are doing Molly, like every weekend you guys are getting drunk together, it's great, but it's like not that healthy to do
Yeah.
by yourself in a relationship.
No, it's true. Now when I go on dates, I like really pay attention to things that make me feel strong emotions. Like let's say alcohol is one of them, drugs is definitely one of them. But another thing that I think is a big one of them, especially if you're a big foodie like I am, is food. So I actually a lot of times, like on my first date.
Oh my god, you're funny. You're like food.
Food, like I swear to God, like a lot of times on my first date,
Yeah.
I don't want to have dinner. I don't want food to be involved because food, this actually has been proven, like food brings people closer. Food makes you happy and it like builds this bond that later you look back at the night and you're like, oh my God, I had such a great night. Like I love this person so much. I was like, no, you probably had like really bomb fucking Italian.
Yeah.
Like really good fucking food. So it's like, as my first dates, a lot of times I try to
go to like a nice restaurant, like
go like, you know,
somewhere good, right?
Like also like keep it short. Like we could go for a walk. We could like go for like coffee. We could go for like juice. You know, we could like go on a hike, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, something that we could like talk, get to know each other. And also like on dates where it's like dinner, a lot of times it feels like an interview where you just like keep asking questions and like people are just giving you.
Yeah. That's true. Like, but at the same time, yeah. You know what? Food does bring people closer. Like, I can definitely see that because every single time we go on a date, where do we usually go? Out to eat.
Dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also extremely expensive for guys. Like, imagine a guy who's like single and he's like going on. I always like
going on dates, right? And then COVID happens.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, come to my house.
Like, imagine you trying to like date in this city and like you're going on dates, like, I don't know, 2 nights a week. I don't know, whatever. Like,
but it also depends on where
everyone to dinner and you're trying to be the gentleman we were talking
imagine
about.
being on Tinder, or I mean not Tinder.
Tinder's different because like
imagine being on like Hinge, like Hinge is more appropriate, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then the guy really has to pay for everyone that he wants to take out, and it may or may not work.
Yeah. Exactly. Like if we're talking about like the kind of guy we were talking about earlier, the gentleman who like picks up the check.
Yeah.
How many nights can you be that perfect gentleman before you go broke?
Yeah.
How many girls?
How many nights until you go broke? Well, what kind of dinners are we talking about? Are we talking about Mastro's or maybe
or like Taco Bell?
He won't go broke. He better not go broke with Taco Bell.
What would you do if a guy asks you to date and like he sends you an address and you go there and it's Taco Bell?
Oh my God, I'd be like, goodbye. I'd probably go and get my own stuff and then like just drive away.
Like wave at them as you drive away.
Or not even wave at them, just go, just leave.
And they just like catch a glimpse of you and they're like, did she just pound?
You know what? Like sometimes I feel like I love like a wine night.
Yeah. See, but then you get all like drunk
Oh,
and
that's
horny.
true. But that's also like because of COVID. Like,
yeah. Wine is crazy on dates.
yes.
I do not want to
Too
drink wines
much.
on my dates.
Yeah, I get way
Because I
too-
definitely like you then.
Yes. Same. I love wine, so I will definitely like you. But wait, did we really talk for over 2 hours?
So we talked for over 2 hours.
Should we wrap? We should definitely wrap it up, right? But we were all kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna like
Cut
some
it.
of
You can cut
out.
it off,
But I mean,
yeah.
it was so good. I might
Yeah.
just like dump it out there like that.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for coming.
Oh my gosh, thank
I
you
had
so
such a
much.
good time talking.
I
to
had
you.
such a good time talking to you. Like, oh my gosh, it's like amazing.
Move with the rhythm, shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting.